Hi everyone, so this time we will be modeling a short for this character, and I will try and replicate my original one really quickly. So again, nothing super complicated, just starting with a cylinder, shaping it up a little bit differently. So you will notice that she's a female, right? But she's quite a young girl, so I didn't want to stress that area too much. Um, and I think with the second version, it's even kind of more subtle compared to my first one. So I'm not entirely sure which one I will go with at the end. And at the moment, I'm just reshaping vertices, as you can see. Just trying to make sure that things sort of make sense with the placement. And I added that additional line for the collar because I want to add that color into the short, so not just have them separate, but make sure that they're part of the same mesh. So you will see that this time I'm using different elements and I'm combining them together and merging them back together because extruding all those elements from the original one, from the original cylinder, would be a little bit too complicated. So I'm just trying to break down this short into simple shapes. So a cylinder at the bottom and basically cylinders for the shoulders and for the arms. And you will see that I'm changing the size um, to be slightly more oval, not a proper circle. And then I actually made a mistake because I thought that I want to have a real circle for the arm itself. That's why I'm using another cylinder, and I won't be scaling it on just two axes. I'll make sure that I'm using the uniform scale for the X and Y, I think. And so I'm just reshaping it a little bit. And changing, putting it into position roughly where the arm would be, and closing the gap a little bit better, combining the elements together and using the pen tool again. And from there I was just trying to figure out what was the best way to connect elements. You will see me sometimes kind of freezing for a couple of seconds, just trying to figure out what will go in which direction and how do I combine all of those things together, especially when it comes to when I actually start working on the collar later on. You will see that I will be having a couple of problems in the shoulder area. And again, same as with everything else, I'm just making sure that everything sort of looks okay from different angles. So I'm switching between my orthographic views and perspective very often. And you will see that sometimes I'm just extruding one edge and I'm making sure that that polygon is making sense, and only then I connect it back into the mesh. So it's quite a lengthy way of working, but this gives you much more control over the shape you're getting. This is why I usually use it for quite complicated pieces like this one. And constantly checking what it might look like in the smooth mode as well. Also, the amount of edges I have around the shoulder area should give me probably enough information to be able to animate with this quite successfully. Potentially it might be a little bit too much, but since it's not a game character, I think I'm not really worried about it. So you can see I'm adding 3 more polygons because I'm planning to connect them to 3 polygons down at the bottom. I didn't have this thing with the original shirt I modeled. So at some point, at some stage, I got rid of one of the edges, I think, on the bottom of the model, meaning that I was left with less things to connect to the top part. So I didn't have 3 edges where the shoulder area is. I only had 2. So I will probably use my other version when I keep modeling this. But we'll actually see. I'm not sure. They both look okay. So at the moment, it takes me about an hour to finish one piece, and as you can see, most of them for now are quite complex. I think with something as simple as that belt over there, for example, potentially arms shouldn't take as long, and by arms I just mean that you know, the piece showing the skin, not the hands themselves. Those will probably take some time. I'm still trying to figure out the way I'm going to be modeling those. I'm just kind of constantly thinking about what kind of edge flow I might need, because there's sort of the close to middens, there's only 2 fingers. That's probably it. I don't really have anything more to add to this. You will see that I will be using another cylinder for the collar bit, and um, when it goes black, so I've mentioned that a couple of times as well, if something goes black, it means that the shading is broken, so you just need to reverse the shading, so you will see that later on. But I'm going to leave you here, and feel free to watch this video to the end just to see the final result.